Yeah.
I told him I was trying to find a way.
This is the place to do it.
You got one last one back yet. Okay. We're getting ready to start with our next speaker. This is Darrell Padgett, and he is the CEO of the Insight into Prison Consultants and Paralegal Services. So, would you
Can
go
you see that, or
Yeah.
would you like one light out so you can see it better? Because I'm gonna have some slides that you.
You turned it up?
Potentially, I don't know if you want both out or you want one out.
As you did.
Yeah.
Well, you can't see him.
Leave the one, leave this side on over here.
Yeah, I
There we go.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, as you said, my name is Darrell Padgett, and I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here because you guys are here. So I'm going to share my story. There was a time in my life when I was unemployed. I was laid off from my job. I didn't have any money coming in. And my wife was pregnant. So what was I going to do? I felt helpless, powerless, no strength. I didn't know what to do. What would you have done? Your wife was pregnant, your husband was in a situation, needed money, didn't have any money coming in. Have any of y'all ever been there?
Yeah.
You have? Did you make bad choices?
Everybody makes things.
Everybody make bad choices.
Yeah. Ain't nobody perfect.
So I'm no different than y'all.
No.
I like to hear that. So there's some commonality in here. Bad choices. Bad choices. Somebody know what that is.
Oh, soon as y'all see it, I know what it is. That's
Somebody know what that is. Strike your hand. Exactly.
That's a big rock. Yeah. One of ours
You know anything about that? Punishment? But you know it's a crime, right?
too. Yeah.
So if you make a bad
That's
choice,
right. That right there is a 2 to 15.
state time. This is what he said, 2 to 15.
Take everything you got.
Take everything you got. State time. So I made a bad choice. I'm no different than you. My decision when I was confronted with that adversity was to sell drugs. I sold crack cocaine. And I'm ashamed of it. I'm remorseful. And that's why I'm here talking to you. You see that in the corner, the DEA? That's not a state agency. That's a federal agency. The United States government, the whole United States, came to prosecute me. I'm from Welch. You know where Welch is?
Yeah.
Back out County?
Been down there long.
Yeah.
Okay. They came there to prosecute me. I sold 1 gram of crack cocaine to an undercover informant. And I was arrested by the United States government. 1 gram of crack cocaine, it's about the size of this dime, or weighs about the size of this dime. For y'all that don't know what 1 gram is, because some people say 1 gram.
Yeah.
How much is it? How big is it? They would think that it's large because this is the United States government that we're talking about. In fact, this dime weighs 2.2 grams. A dime weighs 2.2 grams, and I was arrested for 1 gram. So, as I said, it was the United States government against me. In every document they gave me, United States of America versus Darrell Padgett. What was I going to do? I felt helpless. I didn't know what to do. I was helpless when I was unemployed. And here I find myself further helpless. So, I had more choices to make once I was in custody. Was I going to go to trial and face life in prison? My penalty after I was arrested for that 1 gram was a mandatory life sentence. What happens when you have a mandatory life sentence in federal custody? You just said 5 to 15?
2 to 15.
2 to 15. That's state what he's referring to. We're talking about the United States government. So if you have a life sentence, are you going to get out on parole?
No.
You think they're going to let you stay in there and die for a small gram? Yeah.
What's the-
Well, you're right. That was my penalty, life in prison. And had I been convicted and sentenced to life, I would have died in prison. So, as I said, I proceeded to trial with this case. I wouldn't accept the plea agreement from the government for various reasons. One reason is the government wanted me to become an undercover informant and work in an undercover capacity and go around and arrest people who was using drugs and selling drugs and doing all of that. And they told me anything that happened to you, if you get shot, there's nothing your family can do. That's that's your consequence. We're not going to protect you, but we want you to get out there and work for us. So I said, not me. And I went to trial. What happened? What happened to me when I went to trial?
More than likely convicted.
The government has a 99.5% conviction rate. 99.5% conviction rate. I knew I was guilty, but I couldn't. It wasn't the only fact that I couldn't cooperate with the government. The government was exaggerating the case. So I proceeded to trial. Yes, I proceeded to trial. Even though I had family and it was just